Hyrum Smith is an author, speaker, and chairman of Franklin Covey Company. The international firm teaches life and time management techniques to some 750,000 people a year. Mr. Smith has written several books, including The 10 Natural Laws of Successful Time and Life Management. And he's the creator of the Franklin Day Planner, which I use, and also 4 million people use it as well as a time management tool. Mr. Smith, welcome to Making It.
Thank you.
Now, in this day and age, we are always running out of time. There's just not enough time to do anything. I know myself. You talk about time famine. How widespread is this problem?
Actually, it's as widespread as people make it. You hear people say all the time, I don't have enough time. The minute someone says, I don't have enough time, there's a time famine. I always have people tell me, you know, I wish I lived 100 years ago when they had more time. I said, really, how much time did they have 100 years ago? The only difference between then and now is we have more options than they did. And the reason we have more options is we do stuff faster than they did.
That's right.
But the basic principles that help a person be more productive haven't changed for 6,000 years.
Now, your company trains about 10,000 people weekly on this
Correct.
Franklin system.
Yes.
What is the system and what are the goals of this system?
Well, the goals of the system is to help people get better control of their lives. Most people live in the reactive as opposed to the proactive mode. And what we teach people in our seminars is to become proactive. And if I'm really going to get control of my time, I've got to understand what time is. Time is nothing more than a sequence of events. And management is the art of controlling. So what's time management? It's the art of controlling events. So the next issue is, what are the events over which I have any control? We teach people how to do that.
So how do you begin by doing that?
Well, you start by, we build a productivity pyramid. We say, you know, if you really want control of your life, find out first what matters to you. Identify your governing values. And we suggest that people write their own constitution. Once I know what my values are, then I set long-range and intermediate goals. And then if I sit down and plan every day, and we really encourage weekly and daily planning, then what am I going to do today that really something that really matters to me? Instead of what something matters to everybody else, what matters to me? And the minute I start seeing things in my day that matter to me, instead of reacting to the world, I experience a thing called inner peace.
Oh, that's what we're all trying to achieve.
Really?
Take us through the critical steps toward achieving time management.
Well, the first big thing is number one, you really have to have this constitution we talk about. Then we really strongly encourage that people take time every week and every day to plan their day. If you spent 10 to 15 minutes every day deciding what you were going to do and the sequence in which you were going to do it, the increase in productivity is absolutely magic. And then if you have a device, a tool that I can now manage these things that I have decided have mattered. That's why we created the Franklin Planner, quite frankly.
Which is this book right here.
Yeah, this is what you carry, and there are 5 different sizes of this.
And I have one of those books.
That's wonderful.
They're great.
Yeah, it's the only true book. Anyway, that's a joke, by the way. Anyway, and now I sit down in my planning session and I said, you know, what am I going to do today of value to me? I write it down. The big thing, the reason we call it a system is it's not just ordering events, daily task lists, appointments. And you can learn to do that pretty easily. But the big issue is the acquisition and retrieval of information. 1/3 of the commitments made in America today in the business world never take place. Why? Because I forget, wrote it down, can't find out where I wrote it down. If I tell you, Sharon, that I'm going to call you in 3 weeks at 2 o'clock, you'll get a call. 3 weeks at 2 o'clock.
Okay, I'll be
I don't have to think about that twice between now and then.
Finally, you talk about balance. How do we achieve balance in our lives?
You achieve balance by I've come back to this constitution again. If I know what matters to me, if I identify my governing values, your governing values automatically have things to do with your personal life, your professional life, your avocational, your family, and all of those things. If you're taking care of each of those things, I have balance. I get out of balance when I become reactive. I spend all my time at work. I don't, people, lots of surveys. What's the most important thing to you? Family.
That's
right. How much time do you spend with your family? None.
Not enough.
So it's not really the most important thing.
Thank you very much for joining us.